This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2023 Flagstaff Hard Side pop-up trailer, model number 12 RBST. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Now, I guess you could say this is a supplemental video because you can use the manufacturer's setup video. They have a video just for this model, just so you can learn from it. They used to give you a DVD, but now the way things are going, there's a link to you can link to the video on their website and look at it. So what this video is that I'm doing now is just goes into a little more detail about some of the features. Okay. So let me start over here on the door side. Okay. So first of all, we're already in the up position. You just raise and lower it with these handles. Like this one, when you're lowering it, you'll push this one up first. It'll release the roof, and it'll slowly come down. It has assist. There are torsion springs back here that run the length of it, that help you, that assist you in lifting it. So very simple. You can learn about that from the manufacturer's video. Plus, when you come to pick up, we'll go through that with you also. Okay. This one has something called a Wi-Fi Ranger, which is a signal booster for your public Wi-Fi, which I'll show you when we get inside. It also has a solar panel, as you can see, which I'll show you when we get inside. And here, I think there's just a grill is stored in here right now. Let's look and see. Okay. Yeah, right now he's got the grill in here, or it's a griddle. This particular crank right here is for the power tongue jack. If the power tongue jack happens to fail, you have up and down and then you have a light on it. If it happens to fail so you can't get hitched or unhitched, you can pull this plug out of the top here and you can use that crank and crank it manually. So you can always get yourself out of trouble. Now there's also another crank that comes with it with a 3/4 inch hex on it. You can also use a drill with a socket on it, but that's to lower and raise the stabilizers, right? So you have two cranks with it. So that's the other one right there. You can barely see it, but it's there. So you have a wheel that comes with it if you want to use the wheel, and then this is a executioner's hood, we call it. It just goes over the power tongue jack to keep the weather off of it. Okay. Now this griddle here hangs right on the rail here. Okay, it just will hang right on here. Gravity holds it on. And then you have to plug into the LP system right here. So you pull this out, and you have a quick connect here that you will connect to the back of the grill, right? And then you turn the valve on, and that's how you supply the gas to your outside griddle. Okay. All right. That's just a radio antenna. We have power out here, just regular 110 AC. Now this one has, let's see what we got here. This one has a cassette toilet in it. You can see part of it right there. I'll show you that on the inside. That's something you'll have to read up about it or watch the videos also. It's a toilet, but it has a cassette, which is a removable black tank that you'll dump. Okay. So power tongue jack, 2 LP tanks filled with an automatic changeover regulator. You have 2 deep cycle marine batteries here. These are wired together at 12 volts, so it still outputs 12 volt. You just double the storage capacity. Okay, and then also you have somewhere here, let's see, let me look around a bit here. This hookup right here is in case you wanted to purchase a portable solar panel to charge the battery. That's what plugs in there. That one's made by Go Power, just so you know. It's just something you could add on. Okay, that's good. All right, so as we move on, you have racks on the or rails on the roof, so you could add attachments, bicycle attachment, kayak attachments, things like that. Okay. This is your water heater on the outside here. It runs on gas. I'll just take this off for now. It runs on gas. Right now it's empty. All right. So keep in mind that the plug is in here. This takes an inch and takes an inch and a 16th 6-point socket to remove it. It's got an anode rod attached to it. But right now it's in there, but we're empty. You can hear the air coming out. So the bottom line is never run it without water in it. So right now it's bypassed. There are valves in the back of it to bypass it. So it's bypassed and it's empty. That means it's set for the winter. Okay. When you get ready to use it in the summer, you're going to have to put the valves in camping mode, and then make sure you fill it up before you turn the water on. Before you turn the gas on, not the water. So you fill it before you use it, so you don't damage it. Okay. You have a 30-foot, 30-amp cord here, a short cord. We also give you a reducer to reduce it down to a 20 amp in case you have to plug it in at home. You have that's your furnace vent there. You have an outside shower, which is just a sprayer to hose things down, kids and dogs and feet and whatever you want to hose down. This is the most common way to get water to the trailer, is the city water hookup. So you just put the hose on there, turn it on, you're all set. Now if you're camping, if you're boondocking or camping any place without city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. I'll show you that when we get inside where the switch is. This is just the sink drain. If you unscrew it, it has the same threads as a garden hose does. So you can make up a hose for it any length you want to go to a bucket or a sewer or whatever you want to do with it. But that's the sink drain. And this is just cable and satellite through to the inside of the trailer, okay? This covers up your heat pump. This has a heat pump, which is an air conditioner that also runs in reverse to heat. So down to, depends, but down to like 40-ish degrees, 35, 40 degrees, you can run the heat pump and it'll actually heat the trailer. When it gets colder than that, you have a propane furnace. So there's two different ways to heat it, using the heat pump, or you can, in colder weather, you can use the actual furnace. So I'll talk to you more about that too when we get inside. These are condensation hoses. They should always be on the draining to the outside. And then you have a pull-out bin for storage. Okay. All right, so let's go inside and look at some stuff here. Okay. Alrighty. So, let's see what we have under here. I'm going to have to pick this table up. I should have done that before I started, but I thought it was already in the up position. I just want to do that so you can see what I'm talking about here. So give me a second. I'll just lean back here, get it out of the way. Okay. Alright, so to start off, this is your furnace, right? This is the switch to turn your water heater on. It's got a fault light and everything. That's how you turn it on. If you lift this seat up, it's got a screw there, but you remove the screw, and then you'll see the back of the water heater with the valves, the bypass valves and that sort of thing. That's where that's located at. That's also where the water pump is located. This is a GFCI plug here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, even the one on the outside, so they all wire through here. So if you're using the plug outside and it pops, you're going to reset it here. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If not, you get it serviced. It also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So you can test it. LP is good. Carbon monoxide coming up. Good. And then low battery alarm. Okay, and then back to green. It should always be green. If not, get it serviced. Now this is the power converter. So this converts AC to DC power, right? So on this side you got regular 110 AC circuit breakers like you see at home, right? And then they're labeled, of course, and then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. So you got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled right down there. Okay. Also, when it's if any of those fuses blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see them through this perforated plastic here, right? Another thing it does is, first of all, it'll auto detect what type of batteries you have. Plus, it's a battery tender. It'll always check and see how much energy are in your batteries, and it'll act accordingly. So if they're charged, topped off, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever you need. Of course, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will be charging the battery, and the solar panel will also be charging your battery. So you got 3 ways to charge it, okay? And of course, a speaker. All right. So I'll come over to here. Move this stuff so I can sit down here. Okay. So now, this is your solar controller right here. The battery is set to wet, which is a lead acid battery, so it's right. You set it right here. You don't have to reset it unless you were to put lithium batteries or gel batteries on, something like that. So it's set for that. So the only button you worry about is this one right here, the amp volt button. So right now it's telling us that the batteries have 13.3 volts in them, which is perfect, right? Then you punch it again. It's an overcast, cloudy day, so you're only getting 0.5 amps from the sun. So you're going from the sun to the battery. So that's what you're gaining right there. On a sunny day, and the sun is in the right position, it can be 6, 7 amps, whatever. You know, it just depends on the conditions. Okay. If you push it again, you got amp hours, 1.4 amp hours. You push it again, you're back to the voltage. So you got three different readings. You got your voltage, your amp gain from the solar panels to the battery, and your amp hours. Okay. Also, you can see that we're not totally charged here. You can see you got 4 lights here, and the pictures of the battery drained and then totally full in the different stages in between. You can see that. Also, if this starts flashing, I think this one might say FUL, but you'll see it flashing. That's telling you that there's no room left in the batteries, so it's not converting any energy from the sun to amps to send to the battery, because there's no point, there's no place to store it. As soon as your battery level drops, though, it'll go right back to these 3 screens, these 3 readouts. Okay, so if it's flashing, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just telling you you're totally maxed out. All right, your sound right here, this comes with a remote too, but you got an AM/FM radio. Okay, you have USB, so you can stream off a USB stick, take all your albums with you, whatever. AM/FM radio, like I said, you got Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone to your tablet. And this HDMI here is an in. If you had a TV set up here, for example, and you wanted to go into the system with a portable Blu-ray player or something like that, you could go right in there if you wanted to. You also have 2 speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So it does a lot. Okay. Now this is your thermostat. So you just hit the mode button to go through it. I don't know what you can see here. Let me see what we got here. That's just the fan. The fan is the air conditioner running without the compressor going. It just circulates air, right? Cool, that's air conditioning, right? Hit it again. It says furnace. Furnace is the actual propane furnace running, right? Hit it again. It just kicked on. It says heat pump. That would be the air conditioner running in reverse, using it as a heat pump. Now remember, that only works down to 35 degrees, something like that, before you'd have to use the actual furnace. But it does heat. So those are your 4 options: fan, furnace, heat pump, or air conditioning. Now we got everything's kicking on here, so let me shut it all off. Okay, so since I shut it off, there's a lag time. But when it comes to the furnace, I shut it off. The flame went out immediately, right? It does light automatically. So the flame went out immediately, but it's still going to cycle through, right? It's going to purge itself and then shut down. So it'll shut down within a minute or 2. Okay. The heat pump just shut down because, like I said, there's a lag time. So, all right. So that's all when it comes to climate control. Those are your main climate controls, except for up here you have another fan, a 4-speed fan. It's got a lock on the cover, so it doesn't creep open in the wind going down the road and water gets in there or anything like that. So you unlock it, you spin this to raise the cover, and then you select one of 4 speeds. Keep in mind that you can use this for condensation. If it's a time of year where, let's say you're starting to get condensation from your breath and the hot against the cold. There's several people in here sitting around. You can turn this fan on low and it'll suck it right out, right? Also, of course, on the days where you don't quite need an air conditioner, you just open your windows and turn it on, and it'll really cool it down. Get the ceiling light here. Okay. All right. So then you have their lights here, which I just turned on. You have an aisle light down here. Now this is the Wi-Fi Ranger. Like I stated, the Wi-Fi Ranger is mainly people use it for a digital or for a public Wi-Fi booster. Okay, it consists of an antenna that you saw out back, or on the roof, I should say, and then it has a router. It's all built in. So what you do is you go to all your family's devices and you look in the Wi-Fi section until you see Sky. Let me see if I can read it. It's so small. Sky 7517. You know that's you. That's your. So you'll put a password into all your devices, so it'll log automatically onto that, right? Then in a browser, go to this address on the bottom. Right? It says control panel, and then you put in the temporary password, change me now, 7517. You're going to change that password to something that everybody knows, obviously, but that's the temp password. That'll get you onto the web page for the Wi-Fi Ranger, so you'll be able to see everything the Wi-Fi Ranger sees now. So you would pick out the public Wi-Fi you wanted, you'll pick out the campground Wi-Fi, whatever, and log on to it. So the only thing you have to log on to anything is the Wi-Fi Ranger. Your devices all connect to it automatically because the password's in there, and it'll seek it out and connect to it. So it's a really good signal booster, and it's a router, and that's the main function. Now there is another function that where you can get cellular service and you pay a monthly fee and all that, but most people don't use that. They'll just use their phone as it is. Why bother? But you can look into that if you want. You can scan this code here, and it'll take you to more information. You can learn as much as you want about it. Give it about a minute to warm up when you turn it on before you'll see it. That's your Wi-Fi Ranger. Okay, so what's next here? Your water pump is right here. Now remember I told you the water pump is to pump water out of the fresh water tank. It's also used to winterize the trailer. You can pull up here and you got storage underneath, right? Microwave here. That's where the coax comes through. If you wanted to, hook up a TV to the campground cable or whatever you want to do, okay? Refrigerator. DC refrigerator. Let's see here. This you have. Let me see which one we have here before I say anything. Yeah, this one you have to light manually, so you use a lighter on it. 3 burners, 3 knobs. Always travel with the lid down. Okay, and then of course your sink. It's got a there right now. But your sink. Okay, it is winterized, so you can see antifreeze right here, for example. It's all winterized. You got a shade. It comes with a. Let me see what we got here before. It comes with this hanging pantry right here that you see. There's the hooks for it, right? You get a spatula. When I mentioned that the water heater or the water pump was under here, I was actually wrong. It's actually right here on this one, so keep that in mind. You got an inline filter. You comes with this controller here for your mattress. Now this is just an analog controller for temperature. This is not it's not a mattress heater, it's a mattress warmer. It just takes the chill out of it. So this larger plastic piece here, 3-prong, plugs into here. The other end goes to the nearest 110 AC, which would be right there, and then you just turn up the heat to where you want it. But it is a warmer, not a heater, keep that in mind. So you have that also. Okay, so let me look around, see if there's anything else. Of course, your smoke alarm. Now, we're going to show you how to raise it and lower it when you pick it up. Plus, you're going to learn from the manufacturer's video, okay? It consists of using these 4 latches, 2 on each wall. It's very simple. And like I said, there are counterbalance in here. There are torsion springs to counterbalance the weight so it's not heavy at all. So keep that in mind. And let me look one more time, make sure I didn't forget anything for you. I think we've got it all though. Yeah, that about covers it. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember to always inspect the seals on it. Any place you see caulk or sealant from the factory, you're going to look at. They say every 60 days look it over. So just look it over and make sure there's no cracking or separation anywhere where water could get through. You check the rubber seals on it, make sure they're good and tight. And if you see any issues, take care of it immediately. That's just part of maintenance of the trailer. That's part of owning one of these trailers. So keep that in mind. And remember, right now, it's winterized, so all the water's been purged from the system, replaced with antifreeze. And let me see here. Hold on. And it's been replaced with antifreeze. Hold on a second, please. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And the water heater is bypassed and empty. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. This is the little toilet that comes with it. It's a little porta potty cassette type deal. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So, other than that, just remember to inspect your seals, and the most important thing is to use it a lot. Have as many adventures as you can with it, and that's the key to owning one, is use it a lot. Okay? Thank you.